at school today.
What is it?
I have no idea.
That's a tampon. Girls shove it up their buttholes to stop babies from coming out. An 8th grader told me that.
So yeah, this is an actual movie. And it's the first thing that I watched this year. Good Boys is not a good movie. It has an uninteresting plot, it conveys no message whatsoever, and it gives you absolutely no reasons to care about its characters. However, there is a kid in it whose arm gets brutally dislocated when he runs into a van, so I guess I laughed. And since that's what the movie intended, and I like comedy, I guess it's just an okay movie. If sometime you don't know what to watch and you just want to turn off your brain for a couple hours and pop something on the TV, this is a choice, I guess. This short mockumentary makes for a pretty quick and fun watch. My father started watching it by himself and decided to wait for me so we could watch it together, and oh boy, I had rarely been so glad to have been born with a functioning brain. Outside of the US. They did such a great job in portraying how people from Europe see that shit show of a country, and very few of the jokes got old. Lately, for us, it has felt like reality in the US has become this bizarre TV show where the screenwriters are slowly succumbing to crack addiction, and this mockumentary just captures it splendidly. It's amazing. Hercules is everything I didn't expect it to be. I hadn't seen that movie ever before, which I guess is my bad, and it was hilarious, it was witty, and led me feeling so goddamn happy that I watched it. The only thing I can criticize about this movie is a nitpick, but it made me so angry that I have to say it. What the fuck is going on with his chin? Like, seriously, I couldn't stop staring at it during the entirety of the first act. It took me completely out of the movie. It's weird as chin, I don't get it. Holy shit, what a great movie. I know Tom Hanks is a very skilled actor, but the way he portrays a 13-year-old that has grown into an adult's body overnight is just mesmerizing. This is a movie worth watching just because of him. He is absolutely great. The little kid who plays his friend does a great job too, as well as Elizabeth Perkins as Susan, but he's just outstanding. Also, the soundtrack. For me, it threaded perfectly the delicate line of being great without being noticeable. It just blended in with the movie so good that I wasn't aware at all that it was there unless I decided to focus on it. This is one of the best movies I've ever seen, period. Another Disney movie that I hadn't seen and that caught me completely off guard. Honestly, it is so refreshing to watch older Disney movies. I feel like each one of them has so much more personality than 90% of the stuff coming out nowadays. One of my favorite things about this movie was the color palette. Like, look at this. It's just stunningly beautiful. The music is excellent, as expected from a Disney movie, and even though it's a very short movie, I found myself enjoying practically every second of it. And so, we finished the movies of January with The Brothers Grimsby, starring Sacha Baron Cohen and Mark Strong. It's a really awful movie. But it's the second time I've watched it, and I can't help but laugh every single time they make a stupid joke. It's as if the entire movie is a high-quality shitpost that I found on Reddit. I know that nobody will deem it a masterpiece because it is not, but I will have a great damn time watching it, and I will recommend it to every one of my friends who have the same shitty sense of humor as I do, because they are likely to enjoy it as well. This is so hilariously stupid that it's great. I'd always heard great things about Avatar, but I'd never gotten around to watch it, and now it's one of my favorite shows of all time. Everything about The Last Airbender is great. It's a show made for children that has tons of great jokes and comedy, but at the same time it explores some very adult topics, always masterfully. The characters feel very real, and you end up empathizing with them and caring about them so much that it's almost unbelievable. You can see them grow as the show goes on, and even though they're obviously gonna win because they're the good guys and everything, I found myself wanting to watch one more episode every single time. Just a little bit more, because I was so invested in it. The music is just great. Several of the songs were stuck on my head for literally weeks after finishing the show. It has some of the most memorable scenes that I have ever seen, especially the ones, spoiler alert, with the dragon dance and the comet sword. And the world building. It's something that I feel not enough people talk about, but it's so well made. It may seem unimportant at first, and maybe an absurd thing to highlight, but it just helped me so much in staying immersed in the world that they had created. This scene specifically had me mesmerized. They could have drawn a normal harbor and be done with it, but they did this. It's little details like this one that take an already good show and make it outstanding. This is just a masterpiece. Even though it's not as good as The Last Airbender, I do think that this is a very good TV show. I really enjoy seeing the world evolve, and getting to know what happened to the characters that I like so much in the original show is just a treat. Even though this one doesn't manage to capture the essence of what made The Last Airbender practically perfect, it is a quite interesting and faithful sequel. Korra and the others are really well made characters, even if they don't feel as real or ever growing as Aang and company. For me, the main problem of The Legend of Korra is that it has to live up to its predecessor, and when you set the bar so high for something, it can be impossible to live up to the hype. On its own, this is a really good show with very interesting concepts. The world building is once again excellent. I like to see how bending evolved with the world, or maybe vice versa. There are some fascinating concepts put into practice, and I can't stress enough that I love that the world isn't static. If The Legend of Korra showed that everything after what Aang and company did was the same, it would have been kind of disappointing. But 80 years have gone through, and things change. They have cars, they have radio, and they have modern day-like cities. Republic City in itself is a world that I would love to get to know, and introducing more political and current conflicts like Amon and the Equalists, or a fucking thick female Adolf Hitler, is what makes this show so captivating for me. You know James Bond? He's a teen now. I feel like I need to make a distinction between the two seasons of The Mandalorian, so I will. Season 1 felt like a really good setup for what was to come on Season 2. Even though some episodes felt completely unnecessary, and I mean that in the sense that they contributed nothing to the main storyline, they were still a lot of fun to watch. Season 2 felt less like filler and more as if each episode was a little milestone in a roadmap to get to the conclusion. However, the show as a whole is very satisfying to watch. It's just like a spaghetti western in the Star Wars universe. What can you hate about this? And I love the self-awareness of it. This show knows what it is and what it's not supposed to be. They know they're doing a fun Star Wars story based on the expanded universe, and they know that they're not trying to make a thought-provoking show that changes your perspective on life and society. They are not trying to blow your mind with every single episode, they just want you to enjoy the ride, and they do it so damn well. The only thing I don't really like about this show is quite the opposite of what happened to me with Avatar. The world is incredibly huge, they have millions of planets, and they literally go to the same planet every single time, to the same tavern, and they even sit in the same fucking table as Han Solo. Another thing that really surprised me was how easy it was to tell what the Mandalorian is feeling or thinking all the time. Pedro Pascal does such a great job of letting you know what's going on inside the helmet without you needing to see his face. It's just fantastic. Also, Baby Yoda is really cute.